All right, I'm in an a cappella group called Docapella.
That's what I thought it was called.
Yeah, because it started out as mostly med students, so that's super fun. I sing bass and I beatbox.
Are you gonna beatbox for the people?
Hi, I'm Viraj Ghosh. I'm a PhD student at Rice, and this is Quad Talk. Today we're going to talk about grad student life at Rice at large. We'll share some anecdotes, stories, and bits and bobs about our experience here.
And I am Robyn, and I am also a PhD student at Rice, and happy to be here.
I think this is the opening question. Always.
We're just going to get into it.
We're going to get into it. Yeah. How did you pick grad school?
I'll give the short version because it's a little bit of a weird story for me. So I went to college right after high school for a completely different field. We're both in STEM. I feel like we should say that. We're both in STEM programs. I was in music. And I did that for a while, and it was great. But wanted to go back to school. I really loved science, had loved it before, and sort of dreamed of, one day being able to get into that too. And so it just worked out, and I was able to start taking classes at the local state school where I was at the time, and had never done any research before. But I was just taking some biology classes, and an advisor was like, "Oh, you should get into a research lab." Mm-hmm. And they'll want you because you're older, so they'll think you'll be more mature. So just cold email some people and just see what happens. Right. So I cold emailed a professor who was doing microbiology, and it was just like, "There's my name and this," and I was very honest in the email. I was like, "I have no laboratory experience, but I would love to learn." And he was great because he responded with like, "Let's get on a Zoom call." This was during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So we got on a Zoom and talked a little bit, and he was like, "Yeah, come on in. We'll teach you. We'll show you stuff." So really just had a spirit to mentor and bring people in. And so I got into that research lab and got to start pipetting and trying things, and which was great because during the pandemic, none of the student labs were happening for the classes at that time, but you could get into the research lab, and it was a great experience, and I learned a lot. There was a really excellent lab manager there who just taught me a lot of techniques, and I really liked it, and I loved the idea of pursuing like novel research questions and exploring new ideas and trying to figure out more about the natural world and what was happening. It checked all the boxes of the things that I was really interested in, and so that was a great experience. I was like, cool, I want to do more.
Right, you
of
like
this.
started
and he was like, "You probably want to get a PhD," and I was like, "Let's do it. Sounds good. Let's do it." And so got great experience there that really prepared me to effectively apply to grad school, and here I am.
Yeah. Okay.
How about you? What did that look like for you?
For me, I think a very traditional route. I went to undergrad at UC Santa Barbara in chemical engineering, did that, and I went undergrad not knowing exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I knew that I didn't necessarily want to do things like traditional chemical engineering, like oil and gas, pharma.
Yeah.
And I remember being 17 and having to pick what major I'm applying for, and I'm like, I don't know. I liked chemistry, I liked math, I was okay at both, so I was like, okay, well, do chemical engineering. And then from there, I joined a research lab, a couple actually, but the second one is one that I really stuck with, and I just loved the environment. I tried different things. I interned at a company, didn't necessarily love the corporate environment.
It's good to figure that out. Yeah.
Right. And I really enjoyed research. I love the idea of doing research. I love the idea of maybe, one day conducting independent research. And I think that's one of the big reasons to do a PhD, is if it's going to give you an ability to do something that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to do without a PhD. And primarily that is independent research, whatever sector that is. So I sent out my PhD applications, wrote them all over COVID,
What a time.
Yeah, what a time. Ended up here.
So how did you end up at Rice specifically? What drew you here?
Yeah, so number one rule applying to grad school, you know this, is don't, or at least for PhD programs, don't apply somewhere that you're, don't apply somewhere that you are not happy going to.
Yeah.
There's no point applying somewhere that you're going to have a bad time at. Mm-hmm. And so I applied to a select group of schools, and ultimately, I think the number one question that you, if you're considering a PhD, should ask yourself is, can I see myself being happy here?
Yeah.
Can I see myself being happy here? And so that starts with research. Is the sort of research that I'm going to be able to be doing, is that exciting? Is that rewarding? Am I, appropriately stimulated? Am I going to have like a good PI who's going to mentor me appropriately and work with me to do cool things? And so I found that at Rice. Found that at other schools too, but found that at Rice for sure.
Yeah.
Then the second thing is, going back to that question of can I see myself happy here? Being happy here is, what's the community like? Are grad students here generally happy? Are they balanced outside of research? Are they doing other things? Are the students here friendly? Are they gonna support each other, or is it kind of like competitive?
When you go to recruitment weekends.
Right. Are they friends? Are people kind of catty? And at Rice, no one was catty. When all the people for recruitment would come, ours was virtual, but they'd talk. They'd be chit-chatting with each other and having a great time. And I was like, oh, I can see myself being happy here. Yeah. And then also the third thing, I'm kind of going in order of importance for me, was, does it seem like there's funding? Am I going to be able to have funding? Is my experience here going to be stable?
Yeah.
Or am I going to suddenly, get kicked out halfway through? Or really struggle? And Rice bioengineering is growing a lot. So didn't feel like that was going to be the case here. So made Rice a pretty, I think, overall an easy decision. How about you?
Nice. Why Rice? So yeah, similarly, had narrowed down a lot of schools I had looked at to the ones that I had wanted to apply to that had robust research and some of the things that I was interested in. That's another good piece of advice, is that the research you want to do is at the school that you're applying to, and it's more than just one lab doing it. Good
idea, yeah.
Yeah, because you may find a lab, but if it's the only lab doing that at the school, you may want that community that's
good rule of thumb is there should be at least 3 labs that you could see yourself being at.
Yes.
Right.
You want options, and so another big thing for me was I only wanted to apply to programs that had a rotational model in the beginning. I didn't want to direct commit to a lab and not have a sense of what it felt like and what the environment was like and what the learning style was like and things like that. And so Rice was, the biochemistry program was, very big on rotations and how important that was. And so that stood out to me. And so I applied to these places, started interviewing, and it was at the tail end of COVID by the time I got there. So still these things were virtual, so you really couldn't get a great sense yet. But Rice had coffee chats, which we do as ambassadors all the time. But I attended one, and it was a great experience. And there were students there that were willing to answer questions like, how is the student's work-life balance? What is mental health like? What's it actually feel like to be there? And had really open and honest conversations about that, which I didn't have an experience like that anywhere else I was applying.
Yeah, the Rice grad students are very open and honest.
Yes, yes.
Maybe to a fault, honestly.
And just that it was okay to talk about that, because there were a few other coffee chat type things at some other places applied, but when I asked a question one time, how's mental health resources? They sort of looked at me like I was an alien. They were like, what are you asking? And I was
sometimes you get a corporate answer.
Or you get a very sterile answer, and it just felt very genuine. Yeah. So that coffee chat actually made a big difference for me. And then recruitment that year, recruitment weekend was the first year they went back in person.
So you matriculated 22?
Yes.
Okay, I was 1 year before you. I was 21.
Okay, so you just barely missed it. But so I got to come in person to a recruitment weekend, met a ton of people from the program, and it was so friendly and collaborative feeling. And I know you know this is true in STEM, can get a little competitive sometimes. Can get a little catty, can get a little competitive. People pitted against each other, and I knew I didn't want that. I was like, I want to be in a place where I can collaborate and work together with people to do cool things and not be worried about that. And
I want to be able to commiserate.
Yeah, you know, have colleagues, have that support, but also, you know, if I've got a great idea and someone else has a great idea, can we have an even better idea together? And they were very clear that was a part of the culture in the program, and you could tell that it was genuine. And so after that recruitment weekend, I went back. I was supposed to go to another recruitment weekend the next week, and actually like called and canceled because it was like really busy. And when I got back, I was talking to my husband about it, and he's like, "I think you know where you're supposed to go. Like, I think it's pretty clear. I think you're good." I think like a week later, then I like formally accepted and started and ended up here. So that was what drew me here the most.
For me, Rice was one of the later schools to offer me the acceptance letter. They were one of the later schools to offer me the interview, and then you go through the interview, and then there's some delay, and then they give you the acceptance. So they were like last out of all the other schools that I was thinking of. So it's like I didn't know for quite a while until we're in March, and, halfway through March.
What do you like to do for community when you're here?
Community.
I know there's like a lot of different ways you could get involved or hang out with people, or what do you like to do?
All right, so I think I like to be pretty busy outside of lab. I do a lot of different things. I think I'd go crazy if I wasn't. An important tip is that grad schools, or I think research specifically, let's say research is tough. You fail a lot over and over and over. And most jobs, if you fail at a task you're doing, 20% of the time, you're gonna get fired. If you fail at a task you're doing 10% of the time, you're also probably gonna get fired in most jobs. Here, if you're only failing 10% of the time with the things you do, I think you're faking your data.
You haven't picked a good enough research question.
You haven't picked a good enough question. And it's just like tough sometimes going in every day to work, trying something and not working. Or you try something that takes like 3-4 days or a week or longer. You do bacterial cell work, so they go pretty quick, I think. Like it's good.
Depends on the experiment.
Depends on the experiment, right? I work with cancer cells, so they go pretty quick. I don't do any animal work, but you do these things and they fail. And if you attach your self-worth to that, have you ever experienced that challenge? We'll get back to that question you asked in a second, but
that we should come back to that for sure.
I'm talking about it now. Let's, I really struggle with that, especially my second year. I would just go into the clean room, and the nanofabrication facilities here, excellent. But something, I don't know if you know this, it's in the basement, first of all.
Which building?
This is under Space Sciences and Technology.
Okay. There's just a clean room down there in the basement.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. You wear like a bunny suit, so I want you to all picture this. I also, you're completely gowned up. You cannot see anyone's face because everyone is wearing a mask and safety glasses. So there's no human interaction.
You're like in a sci-fi movie.
You're in a sci-fi movie.
It feels like.
And then now the kicker is that in half of it, all the UV light is cut out because UV light, will cause certain chemical reactions in certain materials. So it's just yellow. It's just yellow. I don't know if anyone's had like blue tinted glasses or used the night light setting on their computer.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's helpful.
It's like very yellow though.
It does dysregulate your body clock a bit.
Yeah.
And then I would go every day. I would go into the clean room. I would try something. Inevitably wouldn't work because I was trying new things. Inevitably wouldn't work. I would leave. I would talk to 0 people. Except for my one-on-one with my PI once a week. And that was when I realized, oh God, I really need to do something else.
Isolating.
I need to have some activity in my calendar where I talk to other people.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be in my calendar, and it's always going to be there. That's a little protected time. And so for me, that was doing bar trivia. Yeah, it's Wednesday nights at Frosttown Brewing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's my ad read. Yeah, that was it for me. Just doing other things.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that happen to you?
Absolutely. I think that's a real struggle for a lot of PhD students. You got to get very comfortable with failure, and it's hard because a lot of us got into research, I think, because we're particular and we're curious and we pay attention to details. And so I think a lot of us are perfectionists, I think, to some extent. And you gotta work to balance that. And I don't think I've figured out, the full solution yet. Even 2 weeks ago, I was struggling with this. I did a number of experiments and none of them worked. Yeah. And I was like, and I tell myself, you know what? This is an opportunity to learn something. You're learning something. You're exploring. It didn't go how you expected, but there's something there to learn and to figure out, and that's a good thing. I think a big thing for me, just like for you, is like you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
You got to have friends. You got to have colleagues. You got to have that person from your cohort or in your lab that you can be like, let's just step outside because I gotta talk about this, I gotta go
get a sweet treat.
Yep, and vent about my bacteria.
Yeah.
Not doing what I want. You can't do it alone, because I think that gets very isolating when you're stuck in a cycle of trying to figure something out and tying your self-worth to it and getting through that. And so I think not doing it alone, also not ashamed to say, big proponent of therapy. I think that's really important if you're going to go to grad school, and Rice has a lot of resources for that, for people to access that and take advantage of that. And that has helped a lot, because you get a good professional, outside perspective to sort of pull you out of your little PhD world we can get so fixated on.
You get access to it through our student fees, I believe.
You get access to it at our wellness center, and that's good. So it's been helped. So I'm definitely still a work in progress on that, but it's been good for me as a person, though. It made me confront that perfectionism a little bit and find a healthier way to.
You certainly grow a lot.
You do grow. You grow a lot. If you choose to, you can grow a lot.
I think it's like a given if you're entering your PhD at like 21, like 22. Like you're gonna grow during that phase of your life, no matter what. But it doesn't matter when you come into it. I think there's a lot to learn.
Oh, absolutely. Because I came in a lot older than most people, because I did something else before. But there's still plenty to learn. I think overall it's been good for me.
Yeah, it's a distinctly like not a normal like work environment or experience.
Yeah.
No matter. I mean, some labs run more like a business than others, I'd say. Some labs feel more corporate, but I think none of it's similar to the wide world out there.
Yeah. And that's another piece of advice I would give people is getting an idea of kind of the lab environment that you want.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of rotational models,
Me too. Oh,
that's not an option for every kind of program, but just getting a chance to feel it out, see if it's the right fit for you.
I so strongly suggest that when people ask me.
I do as well.
Yeah.
if it's an option, I don't
like highly
I don't think
recommend.
there's like history rotations necessarily, but if you're looking for a STEM PhD, rotations 10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Some labs are more corporate, more kind of businessy and straightforward. Others are a lot more friendly. Some people tend to work independently. Some really, really collaborative. And one's not necessarily better than the other. It depends on the person and what fits them. And I have a friend in a lab where I would have failed out of that lab. That would not have been the right fit for me, but it's great for her. And I found a good fit, for me. And so I think taking some time to get to know yourself and be honest with yourself and be self-aware about what you need to be successful and what you really want, I think it's worth taking the time to do that as you apply to grad school.
Snaps to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should, I think, talk about what we do. Maybe not in a huge depth, but
that'd be great.
In brief. Robyn.
Yes. Viraj.
What's your research?
What's my research?
Yeah.
I work with bacteria that make electricity. And the fancier term for that is microbial bioelectronics.
Okay.
But it's really cool. Specifically, I work with a species called L. plantarum, which you would know because it's in your gut.
I didn't know that.
Do you eat yogurt?
I do eat a lot of yogurt.
You got it. Yeah, it's in yogurt. People have been eating it for thousands of years.
Yeah.
It's probiotic bacteria, but under the right conditions, when you provide the right things, it will generate electrical current.
Oh, so you're putting it in like little cells?
Yes.
Okay.
So we put them in these bioelectrochemical systems, but it's very similar to like a battery. There's positive side, negative side, and bacteria will put electrons on the electrode and they'll generate current. We can measure that in real time and look at that, and really we want to better understand that, and we want to engineer that to develop things like biosensors, bioelectronic sensors, where let's say you could swallow an L. plantarum pill that could sense something really important in your gut and generate an electrical signal that we can read on a phone very quickly.
What sort of voltages do you get out?
They don't make a ton of current. So the first question people are like, "Ooh, can we power the world with these?" I'm like, they don't. No, they don't make that kind of level, but they make current that's really useful for biosensing and communication. So think about biocomputing, where you've got signals and processing happening. So I think there's another better studied electroactive bacteria called Shigella, and I think one cell can generate around like 1 femtoamp of current.
Yeesh.
Which, if you're not into the femto, it's super tiny. It's a very, very small amount of current. But if you have a ton in a reactor,
right.
In our experiments, we're getting like milliamps, and
for
some are getting up to milliamps or microamps a lot in the range of things that I do. So it's very measurable.
Yeah.
And so we want to. In our lab, we want more systems where we can get living systems and non-living systems interfacing and talking to each other and communicating. And so, that would be.
It's very cool.
It's very cool. It's very fun.
Yes.
What are you working on?
Our lab as a whole, we focus on pediatric cancers, specifically one called Ewing sarcoma. It's a rare and aggressive bone cancer. And when you think cancers, I think cancer one. I think people often say cure for cancer. It's a really broad pathology. There's no cure for cancer because there's so many different kinds of cancers.
Each one is its own thing.
Each one is its own thing with its own set of problems. And Ewing sarcoma is a fusion cancer, which is super unique. So most adult cancers have several mutations that build and build and build, and you get a cancerous cell. That is not the case for fusion cancers, or in this case Ewing sarcoma, where there's only one mutation that occurs.
Oh, okay.
So it's one mutation. These tend to be more common for pediatric cancers because it's called your mutational burden. And the older you are, the more time you have for defects to occur in your DNA, right? Mm-hmm. Like sun damage, for example, UV over time will damage your DNA. But these are kind of like freak events that happen. And so you only have one mutation. And with that, you get this one protein, and this protein forms these little clusters on DNA molecules. Okay. And that changes the way the DNA is read.
Okay.
And causes its oncogenicity, or makes it cancerous. And so what I do is create these DNA cancer protein constructs where we're measuring the mechanical properties of these DNA cancer protein systems on a single molecule level. So we're taking DNA strands. I want you to imagine a DNA strand like a piece of spaghetti, and I want you to imagine two beads on the end, like a dumbbell.
Okay.
Okay. This is all microscopic, and then we can move those beads back and forth using things like light or magnets. And then we can measure the mechanical we can apply an extension and apply force and measure the resulting deformation. And that tells us the mechanical stiffness of something like DNA. So we're seeing how that changes in the context of these cancer proteins. And then also attached to that is building tools to study that.
Yeah.
Building tools to study that so we can look at thousands of individual DNA molecules at the same time. So some very sci-fi stuff. It's very cool. It's all thinking about things that happen, like individual molecules, I think is something that's so rewarding and so cool.
I love getting really small. We both do research. We're getting down to really tiny,
really small
things, and
like
that can be
bacteria
fun.
is like 1 to 10 microns thick, typically.
Yeah.
Yours? Yeah.
Well, and right now I'm on a project with a colleague where we're investigating like individual proteins in a chain that are moving electrons around and trying to redirect maybe how the electrons go out of the cell, and it's
just all very cool.
Fun.
It's all very rewarding. Thinking about things that small, I don't know. I'm trying to think of words other than freaking cool.
It is. It like gets you outside of yourself because it's so small.
Yeah.
It's just not
I feel like
the scale that we interact with on the day-to-day. I feel the same when I read stuff about space and it gets so big. You're like, I really enjoy that feeling of being overwhelmed by how small or how huge something is and how that makes me feel. I love that.
That feeling of scale is like satisfying. Yeah, another cool thing is that I feel like I didn't know any of this in undergrad. Like none of this was ever going to be taught in undergrad.
That's a good question.
Topically.
So like the research you're doing now in your thesis work, how different is it from the research you did in your undergrad?
So dramatically different. I didn't know bio work as a whole in undergrad.
Okay.
I certainly didn't do biophysics, which is what I would say I'm doing now. I would say that the two keywords are biophysics and instrumentation. And I did instrumentation, but not biophysics.
Okay.
And there's just so many little skills that I had to acquire. Like I had to build a microscope, and I didn't know how to do that. So there's a lot of do-it-yourself too, because my PI, I don't think she had ever built a microscope. I'd worked with optics loosely, but I was really on my own. Like go forth, like figure it out. If my PI was like,
go forth and produce microscopes.
Yeah, if you need me to connect you with resources, happy to do that. My PI is very supportive, but I'll let you figure it out. And then things like all the clean room work. I was supposed to get in the clean room in undergrad, but then COVID hit. Didn't do that.
Yeah.
So I learned all of that. They could go on and on about that. There's like bits and pieces of math, or like single molecule math that gets a little squirrely, and I was like, okay, I gotta like learn it myself. I had to learn how magnets work, which I think is still crazy.
Magnets are wild.
Magnets are wild.
I did that class and then moved on.
Yeah.
It was cool, but I was like, I don't think I'm going to be a magnet scientist.
Yeah.
So respect.
Were you one of the first grad students in your lab?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I joined a more like mature already.
Okay. I was
rockin' and rollin' lab. Were you?
I was grad student number 2. I was grad students 1, 2, and 3.
Lab.
Joined all together at the same time. Yeah. So a lot of figuring things out. A lot of
That's a
independence
different
there.
experience.
Yeah.
Again, there's pros and cons to joining an established versus a startup lab. It's a unique experience.
I'd say broadly the strokes are startup lab, you learn how to set up a lab.
Yes.
You really get to see behind the scenes for how things like budgeting and funding, or like you really get like all the gory details. And then established lab, they tend to, you can tend to just be more productive research-wise. Things are already there. The mentorship structures are often already in place too.
Yeah.
So you can move a little faster. Whereas my first year, I was twiddling my thumbs, waiting for stuff to come. Yeah.
Waiting for the packages to
Yeah.
come in with the things. Yeah. No, my undergrad lab was a startup lab.
Oh, wow.
Where I got some experience there and then came and ended up joining a very established lab. And so it's been interesting getting to experience.
You get to see both.
Get to experience both.
I'm definitely interested, I think, in a postdoc after, and so then I don't know if I'd want to join a newer lab because then I'd be able to contribute to setup better. But at the same time, I would love to see how like an established, really old, mature lab just like runs.
Yeah. How many grad students are in your lab now?
We have quite a few now. We've got, something like 8 grad students, a postdoc, a research scientist, and a master's student, and a tech. So the lab's grown quite a bit.
The cohort from my program, plug community again, we still go get dinner together. When we can. Everyone's schedule is all over the place, but we went out to dinner recently and we were all like, 4th years. Because we have a group chat that when we made it was BCB, 1st years.
Yeah.
And then we changed to BCB, 2nd years. And then we're like, oh, we need to change it to 4th years now.
And BCB stands for?
Biochemistry and cell biology. Yes. And now we were like, oh, it's time to change the group chat name again. We were like,
every year.
How is it? I was like, I think I'm still in year 2, right? Isn't that
right? Yeah, it kind of
the time
moves
is gone.
So fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I will say, when I first started the PhD, I was like, ooh, that's going to be long. Like, I'm glad I'm doing it.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do, but like, I was ready for it to feel like long, and now I can't believe it's already year 4.
Yeah, I was looking forward to living somewhere new too, because I think it's one of the cool things about academia. There's travel built in.
Yeah.
So. But like, I'd get to spend 5 to 7 years of my life in Houston. I probably won't be here, after my PhD.
Yeah.
But like, who knows where I'll go? I don't know. It's kind of fun. I like that part of it. When you were picking your PhDs, were you like location locked? Like, did you want to stay in Texas?
I was very open to the idea of staying in Texas, just because I thought that could be helpful for me and my family. But I applied to places outside too, and there's actually a great school in North Carolina that was very, very close in my decision making. Wasn't my complete intention to stay in Texas, but Rice really was just the best fit, and happy to end up here. Houston is quite a different vibe than the Dallas area where I'm from, but I really enjoy it. I really like it. Everyone says this, but it's true. There's great food.
Houston?
In Houston. There's just really good food everywhere.
I think it's better than everywhere. I think maybe the exception is like the top end of fine dining, but if you're a grad student, you don't have to worry about that because you're not going there.
Where's the last place you went to eat? Where'd you go? What did you get?
Huyn, which is a Viet restaurant in Edo, east downtown, one of my favorite neighborhoods. Edo, I get a lot of pastries, and there's just, that's my weekend little treat. It's like, I'll go for my long run, and then, or I'll skip my long run. And
just go straight to the pastry, man.
Go get a pastry and a coffee. Too Sweet, Toot Sweet, also in Edo. This place called, Huyn is a Viet restaurant I went to.
What did you get at Huyn?
Huyn, I got like a shrimp rice plate. Nice. I don't know, I was like craving fish sauce.
Why not?
Every so often, I just crave fish sauce. And Houston's big, it's got every ethnic group imaginable in Houston, which is fantastic for the food.
Yes.
And for a variety of other reasons. But a big Viet food scene here. I think it's the largest Viet population outside of Vietnam. I think it's in San Jose, California. And then I cannot imagine Houston's that far off.
There's a really vibrant international community in Houston. I went to a Thai place yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Do you remember the name?
Trinity Street Food.
Oh, okay.
In the Galleria area?
Oh, I never go out that area because driving on the highways here, I try to limit.
It was good. I got the pad Thai because whenever I go to a new Thai place, I'm like, let's just start here. Let's just start here and then go. It was great. Driving in Houston, that might be useful for the people, for the viewers. So where do you live? How close are you to campus? What does that look like for you?
I live super close to campus.
We're opposite, so this is going to be great.
Yeah. So I live right next to Rice. Okay, one of the big pros of Rice, which I'm sure we'll talk about, is green space. A lot of green space you can see behind us.
It's very nice. Recently renovated quad.
Yeah, all these trees are gonna.
All these trees and like huge. Really fun native plants too. from the area.
And we're also right next to Herman Park, which is like another...
It's the largest park in...
Memorial.
Memorial's
larger.
Memorial's larger.
Yeah. Herman Park's, especially for being smack dab in the center of the city, is big.
It's pretty large.
I live right underneath it. And so for me, it's a pretty quick drive.
I live on Beltway 8 in 69.
Oh, wow.
By Aga's.
You're...
Indian food.
Yeah, okay.
Really close to Aga's.
Yeah.
I'm like way out there. That's what worked for me and my husband and what we needed when we moved here.
Yeah.
But I commute to Rice. But there are people that commute.
Yeah.
But I think something for people to know about most Texas cities, they're very car oriented.
Yes.
And the public transportation is not like what you would get in a place like Washington, D.C. But I do think, because I have friends that do this, I do think it's possible to be a grad student at Rice and not have a car, though.
My roommate doesn't have a car.
You can do it.
My roommate doesn't have a car.
Yeah.
He bikes. His bike broke recently, so that was a bad week, but then he got it repaired, so
There's
fine.
a bike shop on campus.
Yeah, closed in the summer.
Okay, well, during the school year, they'll fix your bike.
He just got unlucky. Yeah, it's cheaper than a normal bike shop.
Yeah.
Works better. It works great.
Yeah.
So he bikes. He bikes, every day.
Yeah.
Not the weekends, but.
Bike.
So
I drive in and I park really far away because it's cheap. But then I take the shuttle.
I pay for the expensive parking
Takes me, right.
because it's under the BRC. Which
Oh,
is
okay.
the
Well,
building I work in.
that makes sense.
So I pay, it's like $600, $700 a year, which is, I think for a PhD student, our stipend's around $40,000 a year for a bio department. It's a pretty big chunk of that.
Yeah. I park in Greenbrier because it's $99.
Yep.
For the year.
Cheapest option, $99.
But it's nice. If the weather's nice, I walk.
Yep.
And I get my steps in, and that's good for me, and that's good for my brain. And then when the weather's not nice, very friendly shuttle driver just picks you up and takes you where you need to go.
I used to skateboard. I used to live in the Rice Grad
okay.
housing, and I would skateboard to the BRC.
Okay.
I'd skateboard to campus and back.
Okay, so were you in Rice Grad housing your first
my
year?
first year.
Which one were you in?
Rice Village Apartments.
Okay.
So Rice is next to Rice Village. It's a shopping center. You'd think it would cater to like the undergrads. It does not. It caters to, I think, this upper middle class and upper, like section of West University, just which is not the
It caters to
collegiate.
the professors that live around, maybe.
Maybe the orthopedic surgeons
or the
that live in.
Oh, it's the surgeons in the medical center. That's what it is.
That live in West U, West University, and so it's not like, I don't know. There's still plenty to do in there. There's still plenty to eat, stuff like that.
There's some student friendly.
There's some student friendly stuff. It's just like there's a Lululemon and a Gap and a Vuori. I don't know. It's interesting. I got sidetracked. Yeah, I used to live there. Yeah.
Did you like the Rice graduate housing? Was that a good experience for you?
A big fan of it. My roommate was an MBA. Here's a funny story. My roommate was an MBA student who was living in Dallas. Or sorry, San Antonio, actually. One of the two. I don't remember at this point. One of the other three cities close by in Texas. San Antonio, Dallas, or Austin. And he would commute in, and he would just drive in Monday morning.
What?
He would pretty much be at campus all day. Oh yeah, all day. He'd drive in, then he would just never be at the apartment, and then like leave like Thursday night.
That's a choice.
That's a choice.
That's a thing you
so
can
I was
do.
pretty much living alone. Except he did drink my the water I bought in case of a hurricane, and I was a little miffed about that. He won't see
The
this.
emergency water. Hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
We could address hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
It's a thing.
They happen.
I went through my very first hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Last year, Hurricane Beryl. My cat loved it. She thought it was fantastic.
Like did your power get knocked out?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we did.
But she thought it was the greatest thing ever. I had to like pull her away from the window because I was like, that's not safe. But she was there and she just was like watching the wind and the leaves.
Watching the world burn.
And she had the best time. And I was like, well, happy for you because I'm a little stressed.
Yeah.
But she loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was an experience.
So I lived in the same building as my grandparents, and it's a high rise, and all our elevators went out.
Oh my gosh.
Last year.
What floor were you on?
I'm on 28.
No.
Our backup elevator broke. I'm on floor 28.
How long were they out for?
They were on 18 too, and I couldn't stay at a friend's house because I had to check in on my grandparents.
Yeah.
Like twice a day and make sure they had water, make sure they were doing fine. I was up for over a week.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just up and down the stairs.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, my boss was super chill. Just like gave me a lot of grace.
You got your cardio in for the week.
I did get my calves hurt so much.
Oh my gosh. No, hurricanes do happen,
Yeah.
but I feel like the city and Rice does a good job educating students on how to be prepared, what you need to have to be ready for that.
Yep.
And then a good fact to know, if you live close to Rice, is Rice has its own power source.
Yes.
Its own power grid for a lot of the buildings. And so
it's because we're on the Med Center, I think,
Yes.
grid 2. And so the Med Center, Texas Med Center nearby, biggest med center in the world by employees, population, area.
they can't lose power for a week.
They can't lose power. I mean, people will die.
Yes.
So they're priority number one. And Rice is attached to that.
And Rice is attached to that, so
Our
they get the
building
benefits.
used to be, because we were right in the Med Center, but was taken out in 2021. So there's one weird little strip of Holcomb Street that is cut out. I found this out last year. Yeah.
That is such niche knowledge.
We need to talk about green spaces in Houston, because I think we both like green spaces.
Yes.
And we don't try it. Houston, we said it's very car friendly, and some parts of it do feel like a big concrete jungle.
But there are good green spaces.
There are.
It's like rapid fire back and forth.
Let's
Name
do
a
it.
green space.
All right, I'll start at Herman Park, of course.
Park.
I mean, I live right next to it. Running trail on it. I'm a big runner. There's 2-mile running trail. There's a zoo. There's the Centennial Gardens. Really gorgeous place to walk, run. There's
went
a big
to the
lake.
Centennial Gardens 2 weekends ago.
Yeah?
Really nice.
For the first time?
I had sort of walked through it before briefly, trying to get to the museum to go see a thing about lions that I really wanted.
The zoo's
You
cool.
can go to the museum for free, and the zoo.
Yeah, most museums free with the Rice ID.
Yes. So I went through the Centennial Garden to get there, and it was great.
Yeah, okay. Herman Park.
Herman
that's
Park.
my.
Okay.
That's many in one.
Arboretum.
Okay. Houston Arboretum.
Really nice. Great place to take a walk. It's in the city, but once you get in there, it feels nice and secluded. Your turn.
I will do Brays Bayou, which is attached to Herman Park, which I also live on, and you can run down the bayou. Many of my answers will be bayous. Bayous, by the way, it's like a river.
Yeah.
It's essentially a river. Houston's built on a swamp.
Yeah, it's a swampy river.
Yeah.
Speaking of bayous, not a green space. Well, it's near a green space.
Yeah.
The Waugh Street Bat Bridge.
Oh, I haven't been there yet.
I did that. I did that. So for half the year or whatever, there's good nights to see them. If it's a clear night and it's not raining, it's a very large urban colony of free-tailed bats, Mexican free-tailed bats. Is that the right name?
I don't know.
It's close. Might be wrong. They're bats. They're cool.
Okay.
And they will come out at sunset to feed. And you can watch them swarm out of the bridge and then fly down the bayou. And so we went to that, and that was really fun. And there's no mosquitoes around because the bats have eaten them all.
Love that.
Bat Bridge.
Yeah. Oh, I've only seen the one in Austin, which is, I think, the more famous.
That one's bigger, the Congress Street Bridge.
Yeah.
But this one was still pretty good.
And did it look like a river of bats, just flowing through the sky?
It's a very similar.
So cool.
This one's great because the way they come out and then they go down the bayou towards downtown.
Okay.
It's this very iconic, nice view of the bats going down Houston. So that's fun. Bat Bridge. Your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go with White Oak Bayou, which is where I do a lot of my long runs on the weekends.
I haven't been there.
It's just I normally access it from the top of downtown and just run through it. Very nice. I also mix up the bayou names a lot.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and I mix them up.
I'm gonna go out a little ways. You need a car to do this one, but you could do it with a group of friends. The Armand Bayou Nature Center.
I've always wanted to go.
Okay, it's not far from NASA. It's over that direction. But in the spring, they do nighttime firefly hikes. So you can sign up in advance. You got to sign up in advance because they're very small, and a volunteer nature guide takes you through. But you can go at night once it's dark and go looking for all these different species of fireflies. And it's this beautifully preserved, like, coastal wetland, like what Houston would look like if the city wasn't here. They've like restored it very nicely, but not just fireflies. So when you go, you get the red lights so that you can look at all the animals, but the red won't disturb them. They don't see it. So you can see
like the clean room.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So in the water there were a bunch of baby alligators just like swimming around.
Oh my God.
So you could see them.
Do they just look like full-size alligators but small?
Yeah, but they're super cute.
Just like this
they're
big.
like this big. And they're just like swimming around. Like frogs, and then they have other like wildlife ambassadors. They had like a hawk and a possum. I love possums. There's a possum.
I do like possums.
But also these different species of fireflies that you learn how to look for them and find them, and so that was very fun.
On the list for me, I've got a couple more years of being here, and I've checked out a lot of Houston, but there's still so much more because it is a city of like 8 million people. I'm gonna go Memorial Park. I will specifically say there's a lot of Memorial Park. It's one of the largest urban parks in the country.
Yeah.
Massive.
Big old park.
They just redid or like renovated, I don't know the word, refurbish? Touched up some parts of it. Really, really gorgeous. A lot of cool infographic signs, which I love reading.
Like all the tree species.
An academic at heart, a lot of history, a lot of like about what native wetland would be. You kind of run through it during the Houston Marathon, which is cool. But so I'll say, the newly renovated parts of Memorial.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another one you'd have to drive through. Brazos Bend State Park. So again, get some friends, carpool. It's like 45 minutes to an hour from Rice. It's south, depending on traffic. But it's a state park, so it's super cheap to go.
Yeah.
It's like a couple bucks or something, and you can see big old alligators there.
That's cool.
Like the big ones hanging out. I've been twice, and I've seen huge alligators both times. But also, if you're into birds, it is a great place to see bird wildlife. All different species like migrate through, so it's big for the birders. And the last time I went was actually in the spring, and it's these like preserved coastal wetlands, and I didn't realize this the time I went before, but the wetlands are full of these hyacinth flowers, but they weren't blooming. So the second time I went, they were blooming. So it was just like a sea of these like purple flowers out there. It was really
Texas talks up its bluebonnets, which are also gorgeous.
Bluebonnets are great.
More than
I have to love them because I'm a native Texan.
Yeah.
Have to love the bluebonnets.
As not a native Texan, I love them too. They're nice. Gorgeous.
Fun fact, you're not allowed to pick them.
Yep. If you're going to hide a body.
People don't know that, but you're not supposed to pick them.
Put them under the bluebonnets. That's not legal advice for me, by the way. That's not Rice sanctioned either.
I mean, I won't tell on you, but you're not supposed to pick bluebonnets. It's state law.
Where were we? Okay, the Memorial Park trails.
Yeah.
Trail running. In my undergrad, I had a lot of trouble adjusting to Houston.
Okay.
When I got here, because all my hobbies were related to being outside in Santa Barbara. So I was like on the beach a lot.
Totally different weather.
I was hiking a lot.
Yeah.
Because there are hills. There's no hills in Houston for miles. And that's just the way it is. And that's fine.
It's very flat.
There's still a lot of beautiful nature. It's not like stereotypically beautiful nature. I don't know. I think swamps are cool. So, anyways, so I was like on the beach a lot. I was hiking a lot, occasionally getting out for trail runs, and so finding out about the Memorial Park trail system, which is decently fleshed out, plenty to do.
Yeah,
it was very nice. So a lot of weekend mornings, I'll get up early, get out there, and just run through the woods until I'm tired.
How far do you run?
When I'm not training for anything, there like 10 miles. Somewhere between like 6 to 12.
Okay.
In the trails. If I'm training for something in particular,
that's impressive.
Then it'll be depends on what I'm training for.
Okay. Have you done the Houston Marathon?
Yeah, I did it a handful of times. I like started running a lot more once I got to grad school. It kind of takes the edge off.
Yeah. You gotta find ways. You gotta find ways
to go.
To do self-care.
The downside is in Houston, that means getting up really early.
Yes.
So.
Because it gets hot in the summer.
Yeah.
Although I love winters in Houston.
Oh, so nice.
Because it's mild and the weather's actually great.
Yeah.
And you go out and do
whatever you want.
And it's really nice. I mean, honestly, another green space we should highlight is Rice campus is gorgeous. It is a beautiful campus.
Look at that.
There are over 4,000 trees on campus.
4,000.
I learned that in my tour guide training.
It is classified as an arboretum because there are
beautiful live oak
so
trees.
many trees, a lot of live
They're
oaks.
lovely. They've been allowed to just develop naturally into all these interesting shapes. And when it rains, there's epiphytes on all of them. There's like little ferns that unfurl.
Yeah.
And it's really pretty. And
my favorite thing about the trees is that like Rice campus was built with a lot of just native sightlines. Or like long sight lines through it.
Just lined
and
the trees.
And like, if you know, there's certain parts where you go to chunk on campus where you can just like look down for half a mile either direction, which is super cool. And yeah, you get little arch of trees.
Live oaks everywhere.
Gorgeous.
So there's a trail that just goes around the campus, and that's a nice, easy trail to get to. I've done it with my dog. He approves.
It's nice. I've run it a lot. Another nature's wrong. This Columbia Tap Trail, you know, not a big city's pretty urban.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ways to walk from kind of Rice, the southern part of the center of Houston where we are, to get to downtown or east downtown.
Oh, okay.
And Columbia Tap Trail just kind of goes straight up on the east side of 288. So, yeah, that's kind of a way to connect.
There technically is like a bayou trail that runs all the way from where I am on Beltway 8 to Rice. I would never run it.
Was that like 40
but we talked
miles?
about biking it.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
40 miles.
A lot of people bike. I
haven't done it yet because we'd have to,
Yeah.
you know, I have to. I don't think I could bike both ways. I have to like plan someone to pick me up and then you know take me back. But the bayou trails just run everywhere.
Right now, Houston, the mayor at least, is very anti-biking as a commuting, but very pro-biking as a...
For fun?
Yeah, like recreational.
Okay.
As however you feel about urban biking. But that's the current stance.
Yeah. What else do you do for self-care?
I sing in an a cappella group.
Tell us about that. That's awesome.
All right, I'm in an a cappella group called Docapella.
That's what I thought it was called.
Yeah, because it's mostly, it started out as mostly med students. Now it's just TMC. So there's a lot of med students, a couple PhD students like me. We typically, any PhD student that is somewhat related to the med center
just
gets to,
Okay, when's your next concert?
We do two big ones, kind of in the fall and in the spring, usually at Axelrad, which is a local bar.
That's so fun.
They pay us. Thank you, Axelrad. And yeah, so singing that, I was the music director for that last year, and I'm very, very proud of the group and what we accomplished. And yeah, so it's med students, residents, nurses, doctors, PAs, fellows, PhD students. We had one civil engineer.
There you go.
That was fun. His wife was a med student who recently graduated. All right, I do that, so that's super fun. I sing bass and I beatbox. It is a very fun party skill.
Are you gonna beatbox for the people?
I don't know if the mic's gonna pick that up well. There's
I'm very happy with that.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, or like. Right. Yeah, a lot of weird, cool things. Anyways.
I can't make those sounds with my voice. I'm very impressed.
You have to sip a lot of water while you're learning that.
Okay.
Or you will develop vocal nodes.
There's a process.
Yeah. Or like sounds like whoa, whoa. Right, like that. You have to. Water's got to be nearby.
There's a protocol.
Yeah.
There's a protocol for doing this safely.
Toddlers and small animals love like wow. Anyways, I play Dungeons and Dragons on the weekends.
I do too.
Yeah, a PhD's perfect because it's like
Yes.
this is a nice time for a nice long campaign. I get a whole long arc.
I got a great group of colleagues from my program.
No way. Okay,
We
mine's
play
also
D&D.
some colleagues from my program, some just friends.
What's your character?
I DM.
Oh, you're the DM.
I DM. Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time now. So. Yeah.
I don't have those skills. I'm still relatively new. But my character can talk to animals, and that makes me very happy. So.
See, that's very nice. I play guitar, I play piano. I like to do open mics in the summer when I can.
Yeah,
because it's fun. And I go running, I go swimming, and last year I joined club water polo at Rice. So Rice has club sports, and as a graduate student, you're more than welcome to participate in them, and plenty of students do. So I've got a friend who helps coach the rowing club team and participates with them. One of my friends here plays with the club water polo team and also helps coach it. So yeah, I joined that. I'll be doing that again this fall.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then there was one green space, Sam Houston State Park, that I know you have been to.
Yes.
I haven't been to yet, but I signed up for a race in it.
Oh, through like the forest?
100K in it.
The forest is nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's
that
in
one's
February.
North. That one's like in the woodlands.
Yeah, I'm really excited to check it out. I've never been, and what better way to experience it than to run a really long way through it?
Yeah.
How about you?
What do I like to do?
Yeah.
Love music as well.
Yes.
The Houston Symphony was really good. I like classical music. They also do great pops concerts. So I recently went and saw them play the entire score to Star Wars with the movie, and that was very fun. But for some of their concerts, you can get like student rush tickets. You can get discounts and things as a Rice student.
Always keep an eye out for student discounts.
Love supporting the arts.
Yeah.
My lab there's a bunch of foodies in my lab, so we like to go out and find new places to eat and try that out. So that's always really fun. I love animals, obviously. My dog, we like to find new places to take my dog, which is how I know about all these random state parks everywhere. Galveston Island State Park, it's another one nearby you can go to and go swimming, and so that's fun, getting out into nature. And then recently just found, and I know you know a lot about this, other just communities at Rice and places to be involved in has been good and fun for me to meet people outside of just my little niche. So Ambassador's been great in meeting people that way. And then
I get to see sides of campus you never would have kind of understood before.
Yeah. And then I've done, you've done this as well, Center for Teaching Excellence programs and activities, which are great for just, not just classes, but they also have like community events and things too, where you can talk to other people who are passionate about communication and mentoring and making a difference that way. And then I also did some stuff with the Door Institute.
Oh, Center for Leadership.
For Leadership.
Yeah.
And that's been great as well. So that doesn't sound like it would be self-care, but the programs that actually put you through one-on-one where you work with a coach, you actually really do take a lot of time to like learn about yourself, and that was good. That was good for me. To step away from science and just jump into some other kind of program.
Right, something that's not your daily work.
Still like develop and grow, but like in a different way. So that's been a good experience.
All right. I'm Viraj Ghosh. This has been Quad Talk.
Yes, and I'm Robyn Alba, and it was so great to get to chat with you.
Yeah.
And get to talk with y'all a little bit. So yeah, if you have questions, prospective students, just Google Rice Grad Ambassadors. You can find us.
You can email us.
And you can reach out to us.
Email any one of the other Grad Ambassadors.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yep.